Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Algebra 1, Chapter 5, Section 3, Solving Multi-Step Inequalities. To solve a multi-step inequality for this problem, we're going to have to set one up first. So, find the sales that Ms. Jones needs if she earns a salary of $2,000 plus a 10% commission on her sales. Commission means that she gets paid for every time she makes a sale. So, if she sells $1,000 worth, then she gets 10% of those sales. And then her goal is to make at least $4,000 per month. What sales does she need? So she earns a salary. That means she gets the $2,000 no matter what. So we can start with that. $2,000 plus, they're nice enough to put that word in there for us, plus a 10% commission on her sales. So 10%, anytime we calculate with percents, we change that to decimal. So 0.1, you can think of it as 0.10, but we don't really need that zero there. 0.1 times the amount of sales. Okay, and that her goal is to make at least, remember that's one of those key words, at least is where you have to pay attention. That doesn't mean she wants to make less than 4,000. That means she wants to make 4,000 or more. So this has to be greater than or equal to 4,000. Once we've set it up, now we have a multi-step inequality with addition and multiplication. So we first have to undo the addition, subtract 2,000 from each side because we want to get the 0.10s by itself, subtract 2,000, and then we get 0.1s is greater than or equal to 2,000. Now we divide by 0.1 on each side, so s is greater than or equal to 20,000. What does that mean in the context of this problem? She needs to sell at least $20,000 worth of product. If we have a negative coefficient, okay, here's a multi-step inequality. We're solving for negative 11y. Add 13 to each side. This cancels out. Now we have negative 11y is greater than 55. Now I have to divide by negative 11. Remember, dividing by a negative, that's the one place where you have to pay attention to with inequalities. When you divide by a negative, the sign changes direction. So now we have y is less than negative 5. Okay, write and solve an inequality for the situation. 5 minus 6 times a number is more than 4 times the number plus 7. So 5 minus 6 times a number is more than 4 times the number plus 45. Okay. To solve this, remember when we were solving equations, I told you always eliminate the smaller one of the variables. Now the smaller one in this case is the negative 6n. Remember that negative in front of a number goes with the number, so this one's the smaller one of these two. So I'm going to add 6n to each side. That leaves me with a positive coefficient. So 5 is greater than 10n plus 45. Now I want to get the 10n by itself, so subtract 45 from each side. And we get negative 40 is greater than 10n. Divide by 10. This cancels out, and we get negative 4 is greater than n. If I want to rewrite that, I get n is less than negative 4. My solution set here, if you want to make this, write this in set builder notation, take that same expression there. In set builder notation, remember, the variable does have to be on the left side. Alright, now multi-step inequalities are just like multi-step equations, where you can have all kinds of operations. We can have distributive property here. 4 times 3t, 12t. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20, plus 7 is greater than or equal to 8t plus 3. First, we're going to simplify each side. So over here, we can add these together. So we get 12t minus 13 is greater than or equal to 8t plus 3. And now we want to move the variable terms around. This one's the smaller variable term, so I'm going to subtract that one. Subtract 8t from each side. This cancels out, and I'm left with 4t minus 13 is greater than or equal to 3. Add 13 to each side, and we get 4t is greater than or equal to 16. Divide by 4, and t is greater than or equal to 4. Now if I want to write this in set builder notation, for all values of t such that t is greater than or equal to 4. Okay, now sometimes we might have what's called an empty set or all real numbers. Remember, we did this for equations too. Same situation for inequalities. So if I was to solve this distributive property here, gets me 9t minus 5t minus 5 is less than or equal to, distributive property there, 4t minus 12. Combine like terms, 9 minus 5 is 4t minus 5 is less than 4t minus 12. Now remember, if you have a variable term on each side, we want to eliminate one of them. So I could eliminate the 4t here, minus 4t, minus 4t. That cancels out the 4t on this side. Also cancels out the 4t on that side. So now I get negative 5 is less than or equal to negative 12. Negative 5 is more than negative 12. So it's neither less than nor equal to. So the solution here is there is no solution. Okay? To this inequality, there is no solution. In this case, distributive property 12m plus 18 is less than or equal to 42 plus 6 times 2 is 12m minus 24. Alright, then we can combine like terms here. 12m plus 18 is less than or equal to 12m plus 18. And we could eliminate the 12 here, 12m minus 12m, but most of you already see this. Okay, I'm going to have 18 is less than or equal to 18. Now that is true. It's not less than, but 18 is equal to 18. So in this case, we have all real numbers. If I want to write in set builder notation, I can write m such that m is all real numbers. Okay, now I could have also, if you get something like 5 is less than 10, well, that's also true. Okay, so you have a true statement that's always true. 5 is less than 10. So you might end up with some, here we had 18 is equal to 18. Now if you had 18 on one side and it just said less than 18, this is not true. 18 is not less than 18. That's not true. 5 is less than 10, so that is a true statement. No variable here, so all real numbers. All right. And there you go. Remember to like and subscribe. You can become a member of the notification club. Very popular. Go ahead and hit that bell and like and subscribe to the Mastermind channel.